We provide a safe space for children to learn new skills, to make new friends, to improve social awareness, and keywords here, to grow in confidence.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading camps and kids programs. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
Muskoka Woods Summer Camp is for kids ages 6 to 16. You can come for 1 week or multiple weeks. And one of our uniques here at Muskoka Woods is that we would say we are a place like no other. Let's talk about the location. We believe there just simply isn't another overnight summer camp in Ontario that can boast about having as much prime lakefront on Lake Rosso in beautiful Muskoka. There, guests will be immersed in the natural beauty of Muskoka, which will encourage them to reflect and draw deeper meanings from fun experiences. The location's beauty, though, is only matched by the facilities that include a 6-lane water slide, a 1,000-foot zip line, huge inflatable Wibbit water park, beautiful boathouse, and even an open concept leadership studio. We also, in every single cabin, have air conditioners and HEPA filters, every single one. I want to talk to you a little bit about safety. There is nothing more important than safety at Muskoka Woods because we understand that every single guest that stays with us is somebody's most prized possession. And actually, we have a line for safety where we say no one can get hurt, no one does get hurt. And because we take it so seriously, a few things that we do to actually back that up. Number one, we have a full healthcare center with a healthcare team, including an on-site doctor every week all summer. We have on-site registered nurses every week all summer. And lastly, we hire a seasonal team of student nurses to fill the gaps. We also go well above and beyond the OCA standard for the number of lifeguards required on the waterfront. Not to mention, we do more training for our staff than any other camp. We are also one of the few organizations to receive Plan to Protect's seal of excellence. And lastly, about safety, we recently partnered with an organization called Mind Up. Mind Up is all about healthy mental health and emotional mental health for young people. And it was created by Goldie Hawn. And in fact, we partnered with them, create a whole curriculum for camps. And we have been really excited about bringing that into Muskoka Woods as well. We welcome all youth, ages 6 to 16, as I mentioned already, for an experience of a lifetime. We believe summer camp is important for kids and for teenagers, full stop. We provide a safe space for children to learn new skills, to make new friends, to improve social awareness, and keywords here, to grow in confidence. There is something about our guests when they come to Muskoka Woods, and it might be because they made new friends, or it might be because they learned a new skill, or it might be because somebody affirmed them for something that they were good at and they had never heard that before. But something happens when young people begin to understand that they are valuable as they are, and they become confident for who they are, for the gifts, but also for the quirks. And at Muskoka Woods, it happens again and again and again. I can't tell you how often I will hear young people come up to me and say, I've never felt so safe or encouraged to be myself. Not only is myself not a hindrance, but actually I learned that there's all this gifting I've been holding inside of me. And I'm telling you, for those who come to Muskoka Woods, whether it's they're excited about arts activities or sports or water activities or programs or just meeting people, there's something for everyone, but there's also a challenge for everybody, because part of growing in confidence is putting yourself out there and being willing to take that risk. But always, always, always works, and there's nothing like it. Yeah, so before even dealing with the response to behavioral issues, we begin actually with how can we prevent behavioral issues from happening, because there's no better way to deal with issues when they don't even happen in the first place. We know that's not realistic, but that's our goal. So before guests even come to camp, for example, we do a few different things to try to prevent issues from even arising. So, for example, we have a cabin mate request policy that ensures that if there are people that know other people are coming and there's been bullying issues in the past with them, or they don't get along, they can go through the not with request policy, or you can request to have a limited number of people with you in the cabin, because we want to make sure people feel safe and have somebody that they know with them. But we also know it can work against it when an entire group of people all try to be in a cabin together and there's just a few left out. Before guests come to camp, we make a decision every year to hire over 350 summer staff from all over the world. That is a 2-to-4 staff to guest ratio. We know that less behavioral issues will arise when staff are around. In fact, we would say that the majority of issues that arise from behavior when staff aren't around. So it's imperative that we have as many staff working, but not just hired, also trained the right way. So we train our staff on a zero tolerance bullying policy. We set clear expectations at the beginning of each week with all of our guests, and all of our staff are trained in how to prevent bullying, how to prevent issues from arising, but also how to respond to those issues, to deal with them in the moment, and then also communicating the communication process to make sure that everything is gone directly to the next person who needs to know. The staff that we hire, we are very intentional about hiring trustworthy staff. And one more thing about our staff that is like the secret sauce in when dealing with issues and responding to different things. And that is 2 words, which is define reality. Define reality. Our staff are trained on defining reality, because how we deal with behavioral issues, we care more than anything about safety, but we don't want to overreact. We want to react rightly. And the way that we respond the right way is by defining the reality of the issue. We know that people will say different things, but we go to the source. We understand what happened. If it was a bullying issue, we will make sure we talk directly to the people involved and how much of a bullying issue was it, or versus it actually said other people were involved, or it wasn't bullying at all, or sometimes it was. And then we are very, very intentional with, we want people to have the opportunity to grow at Muskoka Woods, to feel safe at Muskoka Woods. And safety is imperative. Now, people make mistakes, but what we know is so important with behavioral, with bullying, and with other issues that arise is somebody's safety at risk? So is there some person's safety, whether it's a person being who's at risk because of someone else, or is it someone who's at risk to themselves? And if we don't think we are equipped to handle this person, then that is when we get into conversations about sending them home. But we always want to make it a safe place for that person to stay. And that's why we do so much training, and even use Mind Up training, as I mentioned before. There's all kinds of practices to help deal appropriately with these young people who are trying to figure it out. And we want to just help them get there, but not at the risk of safety for anybody. Muskoka Woods has scheduled activities Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Lunch and free time happens in the middle and between that. And during the activities, you go to each activity with your cabin. In the evening, after dinner and a little bit more free time, we go into unique signature evening programs that are specific to your age group, because you do them as a section with your age group. You can find sample schedules on our website at muskokawoods.com, but let me just quickly tell you a little bit about what we call our unmatched activities. We have over 50 different activities that we offer at Muskoka Woods. And yes, we have the traditional activities like canoeing, like sailing, basketball, volleyball, but we also have some pretty unique things that we offer as well. Things that you won't find at many camps, not many. things like podcasting, things like wakeboarding and wake surfing and water skiing, things like paintball, arts activities like culinary and cake decorating and baking, things like laser tag, the huge Ribbit Water Park, the water slide. Uh, the list could go on, but we have some awesome, awesome activities. Believe me, I've tried all of them and they're amazing. Muskoka Woods exists to inspire youth to shape their world. Now, that is our why we exist. But let me tell you about what it means to be inspired at camp, because these are the areas actually that guests also value the most about staying with us. Number one is create meaningful connections. You see, when guests at Muskoka Woods create meaningful connections, that leads to inspiration in some way in their life. And that is number one. It's number one for a reason, because I hear more than ever about number one, the friends that guests make that year after year they met at Muskoka Woods, but then they come back the same week and they coordinate even though they don't live near each other. There's something about just letting everything go and making friends at camp become so much more natural and easy, but also real and authentic and like lifelong friendships. But there's also meaningful connections towards the counselors and instructors at Muskoka Woods. I cannot tell you how many times I've had guests tell me the impact that their counselor or an instructor has had on their life. Like the amount that they've gone, this person has been this mentor in my life I didn't even know I needed, and has encouraged me in different ways, in unique ways, and I felt like I've grown so much. It just happens so often. So number one is create meaningful connections. Number two is make new discoveries. There's also something about Muskoka Woods where you try all these different activities, or you've got to go up on stage and do a silly lip sync dance or something like that. But something happens at Muskoka Woods when guests make a new discovery about themselves that they didn't realize before. Like, I didn't know I was good at that, but because this person told me, hey, you're actually really talented in this skill, or this art area, you all of a sudden this thing happens where they go, oh my gosh, and they feel something that creates a memory, and that they go, wow, those are the moments they remember. But also, it's sometimes it's a skill, but sometimes it's just having the confidence to go, oh my gosh, I never knew that I could get up on stage in front of 400 people and do this silly thing, but I did it. This is verbatim. A guest who's told me that, other guests, something similar, but I did it, and I've never felt better. Making new discoveries. Number three is engage in our setting. And we say engage in our setting, we talk about the beauty and the location, but also the setting is the community at large. People always say there's something about the people at Muskoka Woods. Everybody's kind. Everybody does these things that you don't see young people or anybody do around where I live. It's very common. And the favorite line that I hear again and again is young people saying, Muskoka Woods makes me want to be a better version of myself. And that has to do with the community at large and the setting. And the last thing about engaging in our setting is it's just so much fun. It doesn't matter whether you're 6, 16, or almost 40 like me. It makes you feel like a kid again, and you get silly and you just have so much fun. And we also have something we call sizzle, which is a lot kind of like that surprise fun. And we love hearing when people say, oh my gosh, Muskoka Woods thinks of everything. I never could have thought it would be this much fun, or they would do that. That was awesome. And the fourth area of inspiration is growing in confidence. I mentioned it earlier. Guests so value growing in confidence themselves, and that even if they don't use exactly those words, you can tell there's something different about their experience and how important Muskoka Woods becomes to them when they feel like they've grown in confidence in some area of their life. And it's the best. It's the best. Hey, there is nothing like going to camp. And biased speaking, there's nothing like Muskoka Woods. First of all, I'm saying to you, as a prospective parent or a prospective camper thinking about coming to Muskoka Woods, I don't think there's anything better. And I'll come back to that in a second. But second, uh, if you're considering coming or you're unsure, I think there's two things that you want to do for sure. Number one is make sure you know everything you need to know about us, about the camp that you're thinking about going to or sending your child to, because that's really important. It's a big deal. We understand it's a big deal. And that's why at Muskoka Woods, we have a full guest relations team who's Monday to Friday is available to answer your questions, get back to emails, talk on the phone, or via chat. And we try to give as much information as we possibly can and clearly communicate on our website, because we want you to know everything that you can so you're making the right decision. That's number one. Number two is know yourself, what you're looking for and what it is that you're maybe worried about or would be too much or too hard or something that's not as fun. Know that up front. So, asking the questions to yourself is, what type of experience am I looking for? What would be something that actually wouldn't just push me on my comfort zone, would push me to an extreme and I wouldn't feel, safe to do right now. Depending on where you're at in your life, it's important to know what you can handle, and going a little bit further than what you're comfortable with, but knowing what your limit is too. And again, we're happy to help you tell you what it is that we can offer. We think we're pretty safe and pretty comfortable, but even going, can I go by myself or should I go with a friend? You want to know that, and what will be good for your development and good for also an amazing experience. Then I'm coming back to the first point, which is Muskoka Woods is the best. I don't think camp has ever had a more important time in our young people's lives, because, with technology and mental health, camp is the best. It's the best for mental health. It's the best to get away from our technology, focus on the right things. It's the best to make friends easily. It's the best to learn new activities. And I'm not kidding you, so much fun. The reason I'm so passionate about it is not because I'm just faking it. It's because this is the place that changed my life. I started going to Muskoka Woods when I was 11 years old, and it was like the best place for me. So I kept coming back and coming back. And then I was able to participate in the CEO leadership program at Muskoka Woods. And then I came back and worked on seasonal staff. Eventually, I met this girl who became my wife. We have now a family of 3 kids. And it has been significant in the role in my life outside of even just working for Muskoka Woods. And my deep heart's desire is that every guest who would come would get to experience Muskoka Woods in their own unique way, but just as powerfully as I did when I was a guest. And I truly think there's no better place to be. So hopefully you consider us. Even if you're not right for us, that's okay. But I will tell you, I'll do everything I can to make sure that you get as much of a fun and awesome and life-changing experience as I did.
For more information about this program, you can visit their profile at OurKids.net.